What's going on, baseball fans? How you doing? We got a lot to talk about tonight. We got some Trevor Bauer stuff to talk about. We got a trade that happened this past weekend. We're going to talk some Mets. We're going to talk some Shohei Ohtani. We're going to talk about a lot. Let's get to it. And what is going on, baseball fans? How you doing tonight? Hope you all had a good weekend. Hello, hello. Happy Monday. Seeing a lot of familiar faces. Vincent, hello. Rod Baraha, hello. Daniel Wells, Orioles, what is going on? Cameron Rice, Zachary Goldstein, Blobfish is here, hello. Com Center Sports, what's going on? How are we doing? I saw Jackson here earlier. William Fulgham, hello. Southsider, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. How's everyone doing? Hope you all had a good weekend. It felt kind of nice to not have a lot happening this weekend with baseball after the whole Trevor Bauer mania on Friday. I'm not going to lie, I did not want to do anything baseball this weekend. I was just fried. I wanted nothing to do with baseball. I wanted a break. Woke up today though, and I was like, all right, here we go. It's Monday. Time to get back to the baseball news. And we do have a bit to talk about. There wasn't anything like groundbreaking over the weekend. We did have a trade to talk about. We got some Trevor Bauer stuff to talk about. I know. A lot of people out there are just over Trevor Bauer, but there was something pretty interesting that he put on Twitter that I wanted to just take a look at, give my thoughts on. We just had a re-signing just moments ago. Actually, we'll get to that here in a little bit. We did have the Mets making some moves and possibly looking into making some more moves in the next couple of days or so. So. A lot to talk about. 73 people in the chat. Again, hope you're all doing well. If you haven't already, before I start, hit that like button. That's going to help this help this stream get out to more baseball fans. It's YouTube likes that like button. And if you are new and you are looking for more baseball news and content, hit that subscribe button. We are closing in on 6,000 subscribers. We're at 5.73K. We're within 300 subscribers of getting to 6K. The goal was to get there by opening day. I mean, at this pace, I think we could do it. I think we could get there by opening day. So again, if you are looking for more news and content in the baseball world, think about hitting that subscribe button. Go follow me on Twitter as well. I'm talking baseball there throughout the day. I like posting GIFs and just doing whatever nonsense on Twitter throughout the day. So go hit me a follow on there if you would like. And all right, that's enough for the cheap plugs. Okay, everyone. Andrew Lee. Everyone, before I actually get started, I did something today for the first time in my life, and it was one of the most difficult things I have ever done. I've competed in powerlifting now for about 10 years. So I'm not the most flexible. So, I've been dealing with, little injuries here and there over the past few years, stuff with my hip, my back, shoulder. There's always something bothering me with my lifting. But so today I decided to give hot yoga a try. Very difficult. I'm going to tell you this right now. That might sound lame and whatever, but holy crap, I was drenched after doing that. I was dead. I was tired. But man, I felt great after. So, hey, if you want to go try some hot yoga, I'm giving the seal of approval on that. One of the hardest things I've ever done in my life. So, if you want to just go sit in a room where it's like 100 degrees and just do all these stretches and stability things and whatever, give it a try. I'm telling you, you're gonna find it very hard. Anyway, but here we go. As enough of the dorky hot yoga talk. Let's get to the news. All right, so actually this just happened. Yadier Molina has re-signed with the Cardinals. And to be honest, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. This was looking inevitable. I think it was just a matter of just getting the contract details ironed out. Actually, let me make sure I get this mute. Actually, I can't do that right now. Hold on. Let me pull up the article. Here we go. All righty, here we go. So Cardinals, Yadier Molina. It says they were nearing a deal, but I don't know. I guess MLB Trade Rumors has not updated the title. But according to The Athletic, it is pretty much a done deal. It's going to be a 1-year deal. I don't know what the money is at the moment, but I mean, to me, I think this is a no-brainer. The Cardinals catching, they got Kisner there. I still think he needs a little more time. Yadier Molina, he still has something left in the tank. He's still going to be one of the better defensive catchers out there. He's going to give you a little bit at the plate. Yadier Molina, Cardinals, I think it's just a good fit. There were talks early in the offseason, maybe the Yankees, maybe the Mets, maybe the Padres, teams like that, maybe even the Angels at one point. But after all those teams kind of addressed their needs, the Yankees pretty much said, all right, no, we're going with Gary Sanchez. We're sticking with him. And then, the Mets signing James McCann. The Phillies eventually bringing back JT Realmuto. The Padres, they kind of got their stuff all squared away now. So it was pretty much, there was really nowhere for Yadier Molina to go. And so to go back on a 1-year deal, I think it works out for both sides. Hopefully Yadier Molina, he can just end his career in St. Louis. I think that would be, I think that's the best thing to do. I feel like you don't see that very often with these players very much these days. A player who spends their entire career with one franchise. Derek Jeter is, the most obvious one. But, it'd be nice to see if Yadi can just finish his career in St. Louis. So he's been an icon there. Definitely in my opinion, a Hall of Famer. So, but that's it for the Yadier Molina news. Again, it was pretty much inevitable in my opinion. But alrighty, moving on. So let's actually come back here so I can turn this music off. Sometimes I forget to turn that music off. But all right, let's kind of get to the juicy stuff. So on Friday, in case you were living under a rock and you're just, popping up from that rock and you're taking a look at what's going on in baseball these days. Well, Trevor Bauer just happened to sign with the Dodgers on Friday. That was, so Bob Nightingale, I'll actually talk about Bob Nightingale here in a little bit. I actually liked something that he did over the weekend. I thought it was a good move on his end. But Bob Nightingale reported that the Mets, Thursday night, Bob Nightingale and the Mets had a deal. And, Super Chat coming through. Michael Yench, yep, Padres got everything except for bullpen help. That is something they still need to address, in my opinion. They still need to take care of that bullpen help. Is it going to be Trevor Rosenthal? Is it going to be someone else? Kirby Yates is gone now. So what are they going to do about the bullpen? They still need to take care of that. We'll have to wait and see, honestly. But yes, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Really appreciate that. But as for the bullpen, the bullpen, well, I don't even know what I'm talking about. As for Trevor Bauer, so it looked like it was looking like he was going to go to the Mets. Time was ticking by. Time was passing by. We're sitting there Friday. People were on their channels, sitting there for 4 hours waiting for some kind of an announcement. The Mets gave Trevor Bauer a 12 o'clock deadline, and nothing seemed to happen. And then all of a sudden, John Heyman broke that Trevor Bauer signed with the Dodgers. So Mets fans were ticked off extremely. Everyone was mad at Bob Nightingale, which in the moment it was deserved. But over the weekend, Trevor Bauer actually tweeted out a very long apology. So I guess there was some things where there was some stuff that was getting released in his merchandise store. So supposedly there was some Met stuff in there, and people were just getting kind of annoyed about it. And the whole process, it was just a mess. The whole thing was just a mess. He wanted to, reveal the announcement. He wanted to announce it on his channel. It already broke a few minutes prior. So I don't know. Bauer was, I don't know. I guess it depends on how you see Bauer. I would have liked to have seen that be announced on his channel. I think that would have been cool, something we wouldn't have seen before. But at the end of the day, though, a lot of people were feeling you know what, we're getting kind of tired of this Trevor Bauer thing. Personally, I don't think Trevor Bauer is all that. I think Trevor Bauer is really solid. But over a longer season, I'm curious to see if he can do what he did this past year over a longer season. Didn't face the best competition in a 60-game season. He took advantage of it. He absolutely took advantage of that 60-game season, and he got a Cy Young out of it, and ended up getting him a massive payday. So, but let's actually get to kind of what's been going on with Trevor Bauer. So again, like I said, he tweeted out a pretty long thing, and I'm going to go through this with you. A lot of you may have already read it, but here we go. So he was directing this towards Mets fans. Mets fans, I owe you an explanation and an apology. My intention this entire offseason was to engage with fans in ways that made the offseason and free agent process more interesting. I woke up early on Friday not knowing what my decision would be, and spent the next 5 hours it was like a long thing here, on the phone with my representation team trying to figure that out. I wasn't on social media or my website, as my marketing and digital team was managing both at the time. So I didn't see what happened until after the fact. I've taken some time over the last 2 days to figure it out, and I take full responsibility for the mistakes outlined below. In the spirit of transparency, here's what happened. Throughout the free agency process, my team prepared marketing materials for multiple organizations, as I didn't know where or when I would sign, in order to be prepared for a moment that could materialize very quickly. We had uploaded many of those to my website on the back end. The plan was to have those pages live, or was to not have those pages live until a decision had been made, which is obviously not what happened. That was the first mistake. The plan was to release a link to my website and the appropriate materials via Linktree on my Instagram page once my decision was finalized. Unfortunately, that link was posted in error well before any decision had been made. That was the second mistake. Understandably, the link was quickly discovered and began to spread on social media. The resulting confusion is understandable and regrettable. My intention was never to mislead your fan base, nor was it to troll you in any way. I had a fantastic time engaging with fans from many teams over the last few months, and Mets fans priced to be as passionate and energetic a bunch as any. So I offer my sincerest apologies for how the events Friday played out. I have no control over false media reports stating a contract was in place or that terms have been agreed to, but I do accept responsibility for the errors above. It was an embarrassing and emotional moment for me. For those who entered the giveaway, you will be entered in a raffle for game tickets. The Dodgers play the Mets, and fans are able to be in the stadium. I will also be donating $10,000 each to the following New York-based nonprofits. So he lists here a bunch of nonprofits in New York. So, hey, pretty, cool on him. I look forward to my next visit to Citi Field, and I hope to hear you just as loud in person, even if it's not in cheers for me. Well, come on, Bauer. You know there's not going to be one cheer for you, my friend. Come on. Hey, I appreciate this. I do. I mean, the fact that he put this long thing out here, it's not like he just put out some little tweet like, hey, my bad, He put out a long thing, but I think what this shows at the end of the day is this stuff, it's so difficult to be able to do this. And, you had Jon Heyman, who, again, Mr. Bauer, you were not very nice to Jon Heyman this offseason. Heyman, in my opinion, I think he loved that he broke that story before Bauer himself could break it. That's just my opinion. If I had a guy like Bauer coming at me in the offseason for simply just reporting something, I'd be like, screw you, dude. I'm reporting this. You were a jerk to me, whatever, unless there was some kind of an apology behind the scenes. But I don't know. But either way, I think what this shows is that it's very difficult. Things move so fast. It's just I don't know how, why these things, it's so hard for these things to just stay under wraps. It's crazy to me how this stuff just gets out, and that just shows it's very difficult to be able to kind of keep things under wraps. Some players and some teams can, but in this case, it proved to be just too difficult to be. But again, he had a couple of mistakes. He had the website thing. Again, that's something within his own team. There was some kind of a miscommunication there. Not the best organization from him. And and it's just, that was bad. The fact that like I think there was like this autograph stuff that was coming out, and then like people were like, oh my God, like Mets merchandise autographed by Trevor Bauer. Like, oh my God, he's going to the Mets. And then it was a mistake and it got pulled. His YouTube channel got pulled down at one point. There was just a lot of stuff that was going on. And again, to me, it just proves Bauer, they just, if you're going to have a big thing like this, you got to come into it organized. And that's just anything in life. If you're going to, and I understand things can get goofed up. Oh, we got another super chat coming in. Michael Yanch, $5 super chat. Thank you so much. I will be booing Bauer when he comes to Petco. Hey, I'm pretty sure they'll be booing him too. Maybe not Mike Clevenger. They're good friends. But I appreciate the $5 super chat, Michael. Really appreciate that. But again, it just was not good organization from Bauer and his own team. Hopefully they kind of figured stuff out. But then again, it's also like, is all of this even worth it? I do appreciate that Bauer wanted to do something different with his free agency. I appreciate that he wanted to take a different approach. He wanted to get fans more engaged. I love that. I think that's awesome. Take advantage of the social media days that we have, these times that we're living in. But I just think, you got to be more prepared about this kind of stuff. You got to have better organization when it comes to this stuff. I do appreciate the apology. Because a lot of people were it wasn't that people were just annoyed about the decision. I think people were just annoyed in general that this had just been going on all off season. It's been the peaks of the off season have been very good, but if it's not at a peak, it was like very low. There was just nothing going on. It was the off season of interest at one point. This team was interested. That team was interested. Like, that's all you were hearing. And it was just frustrating as a baseball fan, especially, being fans, of this great game. You haven't been able to go to a game in over a year. There have been, it's just been, you had a 60-game season to endure. The season started late. Fans, it's been a tough ride. It's been a tough ride, and a tough ride for the players too. So I definitely could see why fans, just generally got really annoyed at it, especially Mets fans. Because you're hearing like, okay, Nightingale says there was a deal. So obviously there was some bad information leaked. There was something, like, obviously that was some kind of a tactic or whatever. Like, I don't know. I definitely could see it as like, I was kind of joking around saying maybe like, someone double dogged dared Bob Nightingale or whatever to send Nightingale some bad info. And, see if he would, tweet something out. That was a joke. But I kind of wonder if someone on the Dodgers side, like, said something, to Nightingale or whatever, like, just to, hey, behind the scenes with all the business stuff, hey, teams can play hardball, man. Teams can play dirty and, they can leak out bad information and whatever. So kind of wondering if that was kind of what was going on with that. But as a Mets fan, I could definitely understand why you were just pretty annoyed about the whole thing. And just overall, like, just any baseball fan, you've been hearing so much about Trevor Bauer this whole offseason. Like, Bauer this, Bauer that, Bauer this. Where's Bauer playing? Who's he going to play for? Where's he going to sign? So, overall, at the end of the day, he's signed. It's done. He's going to the Dodgers. The Dodgers are looking really good. Yeah, I mean, really, that's all there is to say about it. However, Bob Nightingale, I actually really respect, something he did over the weekend. But at the end of the day, though, as I kind of took the weekend to think about it, I was being a little harsh on Bob Nightingale on Friday. I was like, all right, Nightingale, you got to go. You got to get fired. But at the end of the day, I still think there was some of that was deserved a little bit. I think he should not have just jumped the gun like that because he's had a history of it. But of just jumping the gun and putting out reports. Where is that? Where is that tweet? He put out a tweet. Oh, here it is. So he put out this tweet. I appreciated this tweet. I thought it was good. The Dodgers are still trying to schedule a physical for Bauer before announcing the deal. Sincerest apologies, particularly to those passionate Mets fans whose hopes were raised for my erroneous tweet that he had a deal with the Mets. Zero excuses. I appreciate this. I think all you need, and I even, tweeted right there, this is all we wanted, Bob. Thank you for this tweet. It's just accountability. That's all there is to it. In this great country that we live in, all people want is just accountability. We're a country of second chances. Like we are okay with forgiving. It's just be accountable. That's all we ask. And, just say, hey, I was wrong. That was my bad. No excuses. I got to be better. That's all you got to say. And, people are very forgiving in this world today. So I appreciate that Nightingale did this, because it's not just like it was just this one time. And yes, he could have gotten some bad information, but he's kind of done stuff like this before. So, this is a kind of a bigger deal though. So I'm glad he did at least say something. I do think he probably got, a bad end of the stick somehow in this. Got some bad info, but I think this was good for him to just do this. Just show some accountability. That's all you got to do. I live my life every single day just, saying, hey, you know what? I was wrong. If I messed something up, I'm going to say I messed it up. Oh, William Fulgham with a $4.99 super chat. Robbie Signs with MLB TV per Bob Knight. Yeah, could you imagine? Man. Hey, we had a Major League Baseball, the YouTube account, come into our stream the other night. That was awesome. Like, that was crazy, man. If you guys didn't see that, you can go on my Twitter. I have that posted somewhere. You have to dig through it a little bit. But Major League Baseball came into the Trevor Bauer stream. They were like, Robbie, you're doing a great job. Thank you. I was like, whoa, holy cow. I didn't know I was like stunned. I was like, wow, Major League Baseball is here. Who knows? Maybe, who knows? Probably not. Never going to happen, but that would be really cool. But, alrighty. So here we go, everyone. Moving on. Let's, enough Trevor Bauer. But, since we are talking about the Mets, obviously they didn't get Trevor Bauer. So, I still think they could use a little more depth. I think they have done well with, beefing up their starting pitching a little bit. But they are looking towards another pitcher out there. Not the biggest name on the market, but he was once a pretty big name. Jake Arrieta. Could they be moving on to Jake Arrieta? So Arrieta, as we have all known, has not had an easy going when it comes to his time with the Phillies ever since leaving the Cubs. So let me pull up the article here. Here we go. All right, sharing the screen. All right, so this is according to CBS Sports. Jake Arrieta, Mets have interest. The Mets have interest in free agent right-hander Jake Arrieta, reports Andy Martino of SNY. Martino adds that they have more interest in Arrieta than other free agent starters like Jake Odorizzi, James Paxton, and Taijuan Walker. Probably because they're going to be cheaper, or he's going to be cheaper. He's definitely going to be cheaper than an Odorizzi, a Paxton, and a Walker. So Arrieta, he's 35. He had a showcase a couple of weeks ago. I didn't really hear much of it, honestly. I didn't really see. I don't know if it went well. I'm sure it was fine. I don't know. But if we go look at some Arrieta stats, he was not great in 2020. He hasn't been good for a while now. Every year, he has just been digressing. ERA has gotten higher. FIP was a 4.25 in 2018, jumped up to a 4.89. In 2019, 4.66, lowered it a little bit. The strikeouts per 9 have kind of just been like, eh. I mean, Arrieta at this point, based off of these numbers, he's a fifth starter. That's really all he is. He's a swing man out of the bullpen. He can maybe start here and there, or he'd just be your fifth starter. But actually, I want to go take a look. Let's see if there's anything on Baseball Savant that, maybe it can make Arrieta look a little better here, because he has not looked that great. So, but I can understand the Mets' approach. They're like, all right, screw this. In a way, a lot of people in Mets country, there's this shared opinion of the whole Bauer thing. A lot of Mets fans are thinking like, you know what, we might be better off not getting Bauer, because you're going to get all that social media stuff. You're going to get everything. You're going to get him in the media a lot. So a lot of Mets fans are actually like, you know what, thank God we didn't get Bauer. So now the Mets, who knows? They're probably thinking, all right, you know what, screw it. We were just about to spend a whole ton of money. No way. Let's just go cheap. Let's just start building some depth. One thing about Arrieta, he still is okay when it comes to the walks. He's, about average in the league. Curveball spin rate is still pretty decent. He's in the top almost about 30% in the league. 92 miles an hour average on the fastball. He can still, he throws a sinker most of the time, slider, changeup, so he still has a mix of pitches. If you go to the stats, though, However, if you take a look here, Arrieta still has some stuff to work with here. There's a lot of red. Look at this changeup. He still has a really good changeup. And he throws his changeup how often? 17% of the time, so that's pretty good. So the changeup actually is really good. Averages 8.2 inches of vertical movement more than the average pitcher, and that ranks really well. At least it ranked really well last year. He actually ranked a lot better with his changeup last year than he did in 2019. Look at the curveball. He had a ton of horizontal movement on that curveball. The changeup also had horizontal movement on it. His sinker was playing pretty well. His pitches looked pretty good last year. So Arrieta, maybe a fresh start, a new voice in his head. Could he go to a different team, a different coach? Hey, maybe he can figure something out. He's not up there in age as of right now. He's 34. Hey, he's gone elsewhere before. He was horrible with the Orioles, went to the Cubs, did pretty good. I take that back. He did really good. If we go back to those good years, he was so good, man. That 2015 season he had, holy cow. He was so good. Won the Cy Young that year, 22-6. FIP was really good. He led the major leagues in home runs per 9, led the major leagues in hits per 9. He was so good in 2015. 2016 was really good too. But he's been digressing every single year. So maybe he just needs a fresh start. I have to wait and see. But, for the Mets, it's a low risk, high reward kind of a move. Maybe he can figure something out. Either way, he adds some depth. However, the Mets, as of right now, they did make a new signing. They have a new player on their roster. So this is no longer that they're just interested in this player. This guy is officially a Met, and he can play out in center field, and he's pretty decent out there in center field, and that is Albert Almora. So when this broke, a lot of people over the weekend were like, what the heck are the Mets doing? What is going on? Why are they bringing in Albert Almora? Where is Jackie Bradley Jr.? What is happening? Why is this guy on our team? He is terrible. But you know what? I actually like this move. I like it. In a way, I think he's going to be just a better overall Jake Marisnick, in my opinion. So let me actually pull up some stats here. Here we go. Albert Almora. Alrighty. So sharing the screen. Okay, so taking a look at some stats. He's not going to give you offense. That's just simple as that. He's not going to give you a lot of offense. His best year going back to, what was it? It was 2017. Had 132 games. Had a 782 OPS. He was a bottom of the order kind of a guy. Hit 298 that year. Hit 286 in 2018. He's not a great on-base guy. He was okay in 2017, but he has shown some decent stuff where he can hit at the bottom of the order. But what he's going to do, he's going to give you his glove. That is the big thing with him. So let's actually go to Fangraphs, and let's go take a look at the numbers. His numbers were actually down in 2020 a little bit, but you can't really judge it over a full season all that much. Oh, we got something coming in. The other channel of the Weirdo Show with a 99-cent super chat. Thank you so much, my friend. Really appreciate you being here. But Albert Almora, he's only 26 years old. Can we give him a break a little bit? Yeah, okay. He's never really had the most success, but at least offensively in the last couple of years, on base was pretty bad the last couple of years. But he's 26 years old. Can you give the guy a break just a little bit? Give him a little more time here. But the fielding tool is still very good. He's a very solid fielder. So if we go look at the stats on Fangraphs here, again, he's kind of like Jake Marisnick in a way, but he's like a younger Jake Marisnick. He's going to give you more. He's going to play more. Marisnick was hurt last year, and I believe he was kind of hurt the year before that too. But taking a look with his center field stats, he's been really solid in center field. He had a down year in 2019. That was kind of it. I'm not sure what was going on there. But overall, not a great year defensively in 2019. But the overall body of work, 10 defensive runs saved in 2018. Had 1 in 2017. The UZR has been pretty good for the most part. 1.9 in 2018. 0.7 in 2017. If we go look at the defensive runs above average, he's always been pretty good. He had 3.3 in 2016. 1.3 in 2017, 3.4 in 2017. Yeah, he had a negative in 2019. Not sure what the heck happened with him that year. Didn't really follow Albert Almora all that closely in 2019, but it was better this year. I mean, again, it's just the offense. I think just with him, I think it's a solid signing. I think he's just going to be a good glove. Now, the question is, so a lot of people are wondering, well, is this the end of the Jackie Bradley Jr. pursuit? Well, not necessarily. Most likely, yes, but according to reports, the Mets are still, they have not closed the door on Jackie Bradley Jr. So as of 3:45 yesterday, the Mets have not closed the door on bringing in Bradley. So that's not done. Could you bring in Almora maybe as a glove off the bench? And you could still bring in Bradley. Oh, we got another super chat. The other channel of the Weirdo Show has donated again. $1.99 super chat. Cardinals are awesome. Hey, the Nolan Arenado move, that could really pay huge dividends. I'd be excited this year if you're a Cardinals fan. I love that move. But thank you very much. $1.99 super chat. Really appreciate it. 110 people still here in the chat. Thank you so much for coming out. Hope you all had a good weekend. Hope you had a good Monday. And hey, if you're new here, looking for more baseball news and content, think about hitting that subscribe button. And but yes, as for the Mets, Jackie Bradley Jr., I would say, I don't know. Are they going to do it? I don't know. I'm really lost of where Bradley's going to go. I don't know, man. He still has some options. He could still go back to the Red Sox. But if he goes back to the Red Sox, they're going to go over that luxury tax. And I don't think the Red Sox really want to do that right now. They're not in a position to really bust through that luxury tax like the Dodgers are. The Red Sox are trying to get themselves back into a good standing as an organization. They need to beef up that farm system. They don't want to be losing any international signing money. And they don't want to be just, throwing money away for no reason. This year, I mean, sure, their team could be a surprise this year, the Red Sox, but I really think this year you can't just be blowing the luxury tax and just going for it. Like, if you do well, hey, great. But if not, where it's like, well, okay. But Jackie Bradley, I don't know if he's going to go back to the Red Sox. I would imagine no at this point because, again, the luxury tax. He could go to the Astros. He could go to the Phillies. And he could still go to the Mets. I mean, I'm not counting the Mets out. So even bringing in Albert Almora Jr., I don't know. It would be kind of tough to squeeze Bradley in, but could they do it? Yeah, they could. I don't know how they would make it all work. They would have a ton of outfielders at that point. So I don't know. But, alrighty. But that's it for the Mets. That is it for the Mets. So we have... over the weekend, we had a trade. We had a trade, an interdivision trade between the Rangers and the Athletics. Oh, man. Elvis Andrus going to the Athletics and Khris Davis heading to the Rangers. And I'll tell you what, I like this move. I like this move for both sides. Two players who really could use a change of scenery, had some down years this past season. Let's go take a look here. Sharing the screen. Alrighty, so as we can see here, Rangers Athletics swap Elvis Andrus, Khris Davis, 5-player deal in a rather stunning swap of veterans, prospects, and cash between divisional rivals. Again, divisions teams within the same division, they don't ever make these trades. I mean, you just saw the Red Sox and the Yankees do the Ottavino trade, and that was like, whoa, like that. You just don't ever see that very often. It's once like every so often, like maybe here and there, but not much. But going to the Athletics, you got Elvis Andrus, you got catching prospect Aramis Garcia, and they're going to be paying most of his contract. So, but in return, they're going to be getting Khris Davis, Jonah Heim, and right-hander Dane Acker. So, very interesting trade. So, let's kind of break this down a little bit. Let's take a look at Elvis Andrus. So, the Rangers, they now have their shortstop. So let's actually go take a look. So Elvis Andrus was a bit expendable. So let's actually take a look real quick. So right now for the Rangers, they got Isaiah Kiner Falefa at short. So, I mean, they got Anderson Tejada coming up. So, I mean, really, Elvis Andrus, I mean, sure, you could have maybe had him place him third, I guess, if you really wanted to. But, it was just a big contract on their books. He was just taking up a roster spot. The Rangers are trying to go in a different direction here. And for the Athletics, hey, they need a shortstop. So, I think it's good. They're basically getting a shortstop for nothing. And, they're getting some stuff along with it. They're getting a catching prospect. So, I think it's fine. So, however, actually, let's take a look real quick at Elvis Andrus. Taking a look at the stats. If we go back, actually, to 2019, didn't play all that bad. Hit 275. I mean, the OPS was kind of whatever, 707. Not great, but he wasn't terrible. He had 31 stolen bases. He had 12 homers, 72 RBIs. Like, he was fine. Again, he doesn't get on base very much, but I don't know. The A's, they tend to like that speed. Let's actually take a look. How does he do defensively? He's kind of solid for the most part defensively. He had a few years of a couple down years defensively, but for the most part, he's going to be fine. So I think he's going to be good for the Athletics. They need a shortstop. So they're basically getting him for free. He knows the division. So I think it's fine for the most part. I mean, is it like this superstar guy? No. But, hey, the Athletics, they tend to do pretty well with some of these players. And they're getting him for basically nothing. So, and they get a prospect with it. So, but as for the Rangers, I'll tell you, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, I really think the Rangers could be a surprise this year. I'm just saying. Now, maybe I'm going a little overboard here. I just like some of these moves the Rangers have been making. Kind of these low-key moves. Bringing in a Nate Lowe, a Dane Dunning. Now you're bringing in a Khris Davis who hit 48 home runs 2 years ago. I'm just saying. So they brought in Nate Lowe, Dane Dunning. They signed David Dahl. They now got Khris Davis. This Rangers team, don't sleep on this Texas Rangers team. Now, I don't think they have, if you take a look at the rotation, they got a lot of options here. Like I said, Dane Dunning, you got Kyle Gibson, Jordan Lyles. They did bring and Arihara too. Kohei Arihara. I was actually wanting the Red Sox to bring in Arihara. He could end up being something. I'm telling you, this AL West is more open than you might think. The Astros, they lost George Springer. What are the Astros going to be like this year? The Angels, I still don't think the Angels, they've made some good moves, but are they like a clear-cut favorite in the division? I wouldn't say so. The Athletics, they always seem to find a way to get it done every single year. They're going to have a tough time this year. No Liam Hendricks now in the back end of that bullpen. But now look at the Rangers making some small moves. And you're bringing in a Dane Dunning, who I think could be solid, a Kohei Arihara. You got Sam Huff, power hitting catcher who could be, a full-time guy eventually. Nate Lowe. You got Anderson Tejada coming up. He could end up being decent. Isaiah Kiner Falefa, he could be decent. Khris Davis now, you're adding a potential, a guy that can have like a resurgence in his career. Maybe start hitting for some power again. He's in Texas. It's nice and warm out there. Maybe those power numbers start to come back a little bit. Let's actually go take a look at Khris Davis. Taking a look here. Let's see. How are the numbers looking for Khris Davis? Hey, Vincent, thanks for coming out tonight, man. Have a good night. Appreciate it, my friend. But taking a look at Khris Davis, not really much in 2020. He only had 85 at-bats, only had a couple of home runs, but is there... All right, so... Man, he was getting some barrels on the ball from 2015 to 2018. This dude was just clobbering these balls. But then 2019 really took a dip. I don't know. I'm not sure what happened. I have not read too much on him, but in 2018, man, he destroyed sinkers. And then just, I don't know what's been going on, like something mechanically with him, but who knows? Again, it's a different team. He's going to have a different voice in his ear. Maybe someone else can see something with him. I think this is just a trade of like two guys I think that need a change of scenery I think they could be better served in new environments. Elvis Andrus can end up being a good player for the Athletics. Maybe not a great player, but they could figure something out with him, get him to get, being a bit more solid again. Khris Davis, this could be a huge reward kind of a move here. If you can get that power to come back on again, I'm telling you, look out for this Rangers team. They're not bad. They're not terrible. They got some young guys. It's a younger team, but it's not a terrible team by any means. So, again, you're going to have a lot of things click, but the point that I'm making here is this American League West is really open. There is a lot that can happen in this American League West. It could actually be a really fun division to keep an eye on this season. So I like this move. I thought it was a good move for both sides. Again, two players need to change the scenery. The Athletics, they got a prospect in return. They're getting Elvis Andrus for free pretty much. So I like it. But then, the Rangers too, they're getting some guys back as well. So they got Dane Acker. How's he? So right now, 21 years old. Right now in the minors, kind of whatever numbers right now. But, or actually, did he just get drafted? Oh, he just got drafted. Oh, never mind. So he just got drafted not too long, 2019 in the 23rd round. So, they got a prospect out of it. Who was the other guy they got back? Jonah Heim. So, backup guy, whatever. So either way, I think this is a good move. I like this move for both sides. So, moving on here. Here we go. So, what is the next story? All right, just a couple more stories before we wrap up tonight's show. So, speaking of the American League West, we're going to stay out west. We're going to talk about the Angels here. They were able to get Shohei Ohtani on a new deal, avoiding arbitration. It was looking like they were going to go to an arbitration hearing, which you never want to go to hearings. You never want to do that. But they were able to avoid it. They reached a 2-year deal. Ohtani is such an interesting case where I just don't even know what to make of him, because when let me just pull up the stats. That'll just be better. Here we go. Hold on. Okay. Ohtani, when he first came over, holy cow, this guy was extremely fun to watch. Won Rookie of the Year in 2018. It was so fun watching him in 2018. I mean, look at the numbers. Won Rookie of the Year, like I said. Had a 925 OPS, 22 homers, 61 RBIs. But it's not even just with him. It's the pitching as well. Holy cow. He had a 3.31 ERA that year, 3.57 FIP. I mean, good grief. He had 11 strikeouts per 9. This guy was nasty. He was throwing like upper 90s all the time. So actually, I want to say, take a look at Baseball Savant. I don't know if I've looked up Ohtani on Baseball Savant before, so this is a first for me. Ohtani, yeah, his popularity, people are searching for him. So look how good this guy was. Oh, actually, let me move. Oh no, you can see it. So the hitting, the exit velocity ranked well. Hard hit percentage, xWOBA, xERA was good. Pitching was awesome. Not a lot of spin rate on the fastball, but really good velocity. Whiff percentage was up. Not a lot of spin rate on the curve. Walks he kind of walks some guys. But with Ohtani, this is a guy where he has just not been able to stay on the field. He's been able to hit. That's the one thing with him. If we go take a look at his stats over the last few years, he has been able to hit. So good numbers in 2019, 848, had the 18 homers, 62 RBIs. But this past year, he just was off all over the place. He was hurt. He was limited to just hitting. He couldn't even pitch. But so according to Joe Madden, there is really no limitations on Ohtani. That they're good to go with him. They're feeling all right. They're like, okay, all right, well, you know what? Let's go. So Ohtani, it says here, he described his play in 2020 as pathetic, but he is expected to be healthy. So that's always a good sign. Hopefully he can stay healthy. Ohtani is intent on reestablishing himself as a two-way threat. Help on either front would be eagerly welcomed by an Angels team that has designs on finally getting back into contention in 2021. But a rebound from Ohtani as a pitcher would be particularly helpful considering how Anaheim has long looked for a front of the rotation ace. Now, to me, the way I thought about it was the Angels should have gone out. Mr. Irrelevant, yes, I am a Red Sox fan, my friend. I feel like the Angels, they should have gone out. They should have gotten someone. You can't, like, I just because of his injuries in the last couple of years, I just feel like you can't rely on him. Like, and to me, if you beefed up that rotation with someone that is established, someone that is durable, someone like a Trevor Bauer, I thought would have been good. But then if you have Ohtani, who can, if he could bounce back, that would have been awesome. That would have, and then you got like a 1-2 punch, like if Ohtani's healthy, and like if you had a Bauer and like an Ohtani, and then behind him you got Bundy and Heaney, and you just got Cobb and you got Quintana. That would have been really good. So it seems like the Angels, they must be feeling pretty good that Ohtani's going to be healthy. If he is healthy, that Angels rotation is going to get a huge lift. So have to just wait and see. I hope he's back to being Ohtani from 2018. That was so fun to watch. This guy hitting home runs, going onto the mound, throwing 98 miles an hour. It was nuts. So have to wait and see on that. So we have one more story to talk about. A bit of an interesting story. So in the last year or two, we have noticed a big jump in home runs. A lot of pop in the bat. A lot of balls just flying out into the stands. However, Major League Baseball may be looking to decrease that. So according to reports, here we go. Let's share the screen here. According to The Athletic, Major League Baseball will be making changes to the baseball. They are going to deaden the baseball. They are going to try and decrease the home runs a little bit. So, according to The Athletic by Eno Saris and Ken Rosenthal, this was posted today, fewer home runs might be hit this year in baseball, sacrifices on the path to efficiency and standardization. Multiple sources confirm the ball's construction will change slightly, and 5 more teams are adding humidors for ball storage as parts of MLB's attempt to reduce the wild recent year-to-year swings in home run rates league-wide. Very interesting. Major League Baseball, they are trying to make this game more exciting. And you know what? Honestly, I found the home runs, they're just getting boring now. Like, they're just getting boring. I don't know what it is. Like, in the playoffs, you had the Rays. I've said this a few times on this show. The Rays in the playoffs were such a home run or die team. And it was so boring. Like, their team, it was like they just hit solo home runs. And they just could never get rallies put together. And a lot of teams are kind of like that. You have so many strikeouts, and so many home runs. And it was just getting kind of boring, and people were just getting kind of bored. To be honest with you, everyone, we were sitting here for a while on some of these playoff games this past year, and some of them were pretty boring, to be honest with you. Not a lot of these games are very exciting. So, I'm just saying, I think the home run, it's starting to lose its lust. I think you need to get back to kind of getting back to just the old ball. Whoa, here we go. The other channel of the other weirdo did I say that right? The other channel of the weirdo show donated $1.99. Thank you again for another super chat. MLBPA and MLB reach agreement to safety protocols. Oh, did that just break? We'll look at that here in a second as well. Thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate that. But I just think you need to get back to, hey, let's make the doubles fun again. Let's make triples fun again. Let's make hit and runs fun again. Let's make bunts fun again. I'm tired of all these home runs just getting hit. I'm tired of this Twins team who you think they're so good, and then they go to the playoffs, and they go into the playoffs with just relying on home runs, and then they get knocked out of the first round by the Houston Astros and ruined my World Series prediction. I'm just saying, I picked the Dodgers to beat the Twins in 6 games in the World Series. Now, I did get the right team and the right amount of games right, but, Twins, come on, stop relying so much on the home run. I'm just saying. But, hey, make the hit and run fun again. Make the bunts fun again. Start getting more energy into these games instead of just home runs. Hey, I get it. Chicks love the long ball. I get it. But, hey, you know what? You're going to love them even more when they're not happening as much. So, I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. But Major League Baseball and the MLBPA, they were looking at some protocols for spring training. So this was actually just reached 6 minutes ago. Thank you so much again for the super chat for letting me know. So here we go. They reached a deal on health and safety protocols. Major League Baseball and the MLBPA have reached an agreement on health and safety protocols for spring training and the regular season. So, according to Kaiser, the league will keep 7-inning doubleheaders and the runner on second in extra innings during the upcoming campaign. Very interesting. However, there will not be a universal designated hitter in 2021, meaning pitchers will go back to hitting for at least another season as the league and the union negotiate a new collective bargaining agreement before 22. Oh, everyone get ready for that. Get ready for that. Get ready for that. I'm hoping they can figure it out after this season, man. Questions about the universal DH have loomed large this offseason and affected such high-profile free agents as Nelson Cruz and Marcell Ozuna, though those two sluggers have agreed to new contracts in recent days. More to come. So, now, I'm curious to see is this it? Are these the only protocols? I mean, what's going on with fans? I'm not really sure. What are they going to be doing? I don't know. So, but I think the runner on second in extra innings, me personally, I don't know. Maybe my argument isn't really great, or I don't want to say argument, but I'm okay with having a runner on the bases in extra innings, but I'd rather have it on first base. That's just me. I'd rather have the runner on first base instead of it being second, because it's at that point, it's just like really easy for a team to win, So I don't know. I felt like at one point people kind of hated this rule in the beginning, and then people were starting to kind of like the rule, and then people were starting to hate the rule again. So I'm actually okay with the 7-inning doubleheaders. I think that's good. I like that personally. I think if you're going to have 2 games, 2 9-inning games, come on. It's a lot. I think that's good. Whatever it takes. I don't care. Whatever it takes. Just do what you got to do to have a full season. Get these fans back in the stands. I'll go wear 5 freaking masks if I have to go watch a game. Get me back at the games. I want a freaking hot dog. I want a freaking cold beer. I just want to go to a game. Is that too much to ask? I don't care. I'll put on a freaking hazmat suit to go to a game. Is that what I got to do? I'll put on a freaking suit. I'll put on a helmet. I'll put on an astronaut helmet if that's what I got to do. I want to go watch the game. I'm just saying. So, but I get it. I understand. You got to make sure everything is healthy and good to go. I get that. But we'll have to keep an eye out for this. I'm sure there's going to be more stuff coming out probably in the next couple hours maybe. So this just broke about 5 minutes ago. So keep an eye out. Keep an eye out for this. So, alrighty, everyone. There it is. Yes, 5 masks, hazmat suit, and if I got a hot dog and a beer, I'm good to go, man. I'm good to go. Maybe a little ice cream cone after that too. If I got to put it in some kind of like a hole or whatever. That's what she said. Anyway, I digress. But moving on actually, no, that's it. That's it for the show tonight, everyone. I will hang out here for a little bit, and then I got to get going. We got to start getting to bed here eventually. I got to wake up for some tutoring in the morning. But alrighty, so here we go. Beer and ice cream. Com Center Sports, man. I eat everything. I'm just saying. Even though over the last few months I've actually lost about 15 pounds. So I'm not eating everything in sight right now. But there was a point I got up to 240 pounds. I was eating everything in sight. And that was fun. But I got a little fluffy, man. So I can't be doing all that. But you're the guy. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that, my friend. Appreciate that. Hey, man. We're just trying to get the 6K over here, man. Step by step. Hopefully we can get to bigger and better things in the next few years. So appreciate you all coming out. Appreciate your super chats tonight, my friend. Thank you so much. Sweaty, I teach second grade. Alex, you went to the World Series. That's awesome. I thought for a second Should I just go buy a plane ticket right now and get a World Series ticket? I saw a ticket for like $500, and I was like, no, it's not worth it. Comm Center, yes, I just won my fantasy baseball championship. I took 5 years off, and came out of retirement and won the championship in my league. I am pretty big on fantasy baseball. I'm not gonna lie. You know what I'm going to do actually? When I do my draft, I will do a live draft. So, I don't know. It'll go into kind of my thinking on draft picks and whatnot. I'll be honest with you. I'm not like too like, how do I describe this? I'm not like, I don't know. I just kind of go with feel. I just kind of do the draft and I'm like, hey, I like him. I'll pick him. I don't know. I look at the numbers, and everything like that. I do look at projections, but I kind of just try to go by feel. But a lot of fantasy baseball, what's made me really good at it is just what you do during the season. That's been the key for me. I mean, that's really in all fantasy sports, honestly. It's what you do with the waiver wire. It's what it's who you play and, stuff like that. So, but yeah, I'm excited. I'm definitely going to live stream the draft whenever I do it. So that way you guys can come in and we can just have fun with that. Maybe I'll do like a team where I'm probably going to do like maybe 2 teams this year. So maybe I'll do like one for this channel and I'll do like my own like little separate one. Jackson, I'll tell you, it would be nice to get that kind of an award. It's been a tough year. Orioles, could I see Patrick Corbin to the Jays? I don't know, man. That's a big contract. Maybe. Depends. Yeah, Jackson, that's going to be nice to kind of start, coming on maybe once or twice a week, start watching some games together. That's going to be good. Matthew, any word on Arrieta's health? I mean, he seems to be fine. I mean, teams are very interested. Well, I wouldn't say very interested, but teams are interested. The Mets are very interested. So, what app do I use? For fantasy, I go ESPN. I always use ESPN. I can't stand ESPN on like their shows and everything, but I like their fantasy. It's pretty good. But also, I actually said this last year at one point, last season, I said we can have a league for like this channel. I'm not really sure how I would pick people to do it. Maybe I can do like some kind of a drawing or something or whatever. I don't know. Have to wait and see. I'll tell you, I'm starting to kind of think of, since the season's approaching and the off season starting to kind of wind down a little bit, I'm starting to think, I gotta kind of go into, season preview mode here soon. Spring training is right around the corner. Pitchers and catchers reporting in 11 days. So actually less than 11 days, 9 days. So yeah, I got to start doing some previews here soon. What I will do, everyone, what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a division preview. So I thought about doing like a preview for each team, like one stream per team, but that's so much. That's so many different streams, and it just wouldn't really, I don't know. It would be like 10, 15 minutes tops. So I figured, you know what? I'll do each division, and we'll do a preview that way. So be on the lookout for, me starting to do some previews eventually. I'm going to start going over, some guys who I think could be, maybe breakout candidates, stuff like that. Both position players and prospects. I don't think I'm going to do a ranking of players. I don't know. I'm not really feeling that this year. I'll tell you, everyone, I've really just been feeling the live shows. They've been really fun. They've gotten so much traffic into this channel, and the live shows, man. Jackson, I wanted to do that. I wanted to do the MLB The Show, but it's just because everything has just been so chaotic. Maybe during the season, I would like to do that. But yeah, man. So I have to wait and see. And we got the new MLB The Show coming out soon. So we definitely got to do that. The last week of Hot Stove on MLB Network, Michael Yench with another super chat. Thank you so much. That should pop up here on the screen in a second. But yes, we are almost How long until the season starts? What is it, April 1st? Is it March 28th? What is the first game? Are they doing an opening night? Because this past year they did the Nationals and the Yankees. Are they having opening night? Here's that super chat from Michael Yanks. Thank you so much again for that. Really appreciate that. Yeah, it's crazy, man. This offseason has been nuts. Just like we've been doing so many streams. But are they having an opening night this year? I'm seeing Tuesday, March 30th. There's games for spring training. And then March 31st, there's no games. So April 1st, everyone's playing. So they're not having like just a one game opening night. Right, but like everyone's playing though. So, but is Mets Nationals like the nationally televised game? Because I'm looking at the schedule here. If we look, so on April 1st, like everyone's playing. Because they used to do it like where if they had opening day on a Thursday. Well, usually, I remember what they used to do. They would have opening day on a Monday. And then the Sunday, they would have a game. They would have a game on Sunday night for like the opening night game. So, but in a way, I kind of like that they're doing like everyone is playing on April 1st. I kind of like that. So, I don't know. I like that. I'm very curious about what's going on with tickets. I'm very curious about that. I mean, has there been any news at all? Just had a hiccup. What are they doing? So the Twins they're going to have fans for spring training. So, okay, ESPN, they had an article, what we know about spring training, the regular season. Is the regular season currently on pace to start on time? Yes. Why did MLBPA reject it? Because they didn't like it. How much time? Okay, what about fans? Will MLB have a league-wide stance on fans in the stands? Okay, here we go. This is what I'm looking for. Fan attendance will be determined by local municipalities, but clubs will be required to submit a plan. So, spring training is expected to start with limited fans throughout Florida, pending approval. The Red Sox plan to have 24%. I'm probably going to go to a game. I'm not kidding. I'm probably going to go to a game in Fort Myers. I'm not kidding. Maybe I'll do like some kind of a vlog thing. I don't know. Probably. I don't know. I'm not really very handy with vlogging, so I actually might not do that. Astros, they have you can get tickets right now for the Astros and the Nationals. So all these teams here have announced plans for limited fans. So while it is too early to know what attendance will look like during the regular season, the Rays are one team that has announced a specific plan, 7,000 fans. All about it. I am like an hour and 15 minutes from Tampa. I will be all over Tropicana Field. I will get season tickets if I have to. Don't even care. I will blow an entire paycheck on season tickets if that's what I got to do. Or at least buy all the Red Sox ones. But so this is going to be a fascinating element coming off a year with no fan revenue, as it'll be interesting to watch how the 5 California teams navigate the exceedingly strict protocols. California, man, it's rough. They are so strict over there. Texas, they're going to be like, heck yeah, everyone come to the games. Tropicana, they're going to start off with 25%. What is the capacity in Tropicana Field? Is it like 40,000? 42,000. So 7,000 divided by 42. So right now that's a little over 15%. So Tropicana, if they're going to have 17% or 7,000 people, that would be 16.3%. So I could see places doing that. Honestly, I could see Tropicana doing like 25%. Well, the only problem with Tropicana is it's indoors, so I take that back. But again, if these places are outside, you know, like I just don't see why you can't just start at 25%. So, yeah, no, William. I mean, I've seen that like a lot in the in like just forums and stuff, and like MLB trade rumors where you can comment and stuff like that. So that's really funny. I love when I see that because they never even get 7,000 people. Oh, we got another super chat. The other channel of the Weirdo Show comes through again with a $9.99 super chat. I hope you predict Cardinals first in the NL Central. I'm sorry to disappoint you, my friend. I am going with the Pirates in the Central. The Pirates are my sleeper team to win it all this year, my friend. I am so sorry. Pirates 2021, my friend. Pirates 2021. Braves will have 15,000 in the stands. Really? Wow, 15,000. That's awesome. You know, I can't wait. Just fans back. Who watched the Super Bowl last night? Tom Brady. It made me sad because I'm a Patriots fan. I've been a Patriots fan since I was a kid. I grew up in Massachusetts. So it was really sad to see Brady win. I was happy for him, but I just felt down in the dumps. You know, this whole football season, I could never really get into it just because of all the COVID stuff. It was driving me insane. But in the Super Bowl, seeing people in the stands, that to me was the highlight. I didn't care, but I mean, yes, I love that Brady won another Super Bowl, greatest of all time. But to me, the highlight was seeing people in the stands. Did anyone else feel like that? I was like so happy just seeing people watching the game in person. That was awesome to me. I love that. I could care less who won that game. The real highlight was 25,000 people. That's awesome. Like, that's insane. So, but like no one was talking about that. I'm like thinking like, is anyone going to talk about this? So I don't know. That to me, my big thing, I just want people to get back to, I want things to go back to normal. I'm so like, I have to wear a mask every day at school. It drives me insane. I want to just go to school. I want to go to school as a teacher. I want to walk into work and not have to wear a mask on my face. I want to throw these stupid things in the trash. Like, I can't stand them. Like, I'm all about people, you know, not getting sick. But when the day when they tell us that we don't have to, that the mask is like only a recommendation at that point, I am going to slam every single one of my masks in the trash can. I can't stand it. Do you know how many times, everyone, you guys know I have a potato brain. Do you know how many times I've forgotten my mask at home or something and I couldn't go inside the store or I couldn't go into the restaurant even though I was going to take off the freaking mask when I go to sit down to eat anyway? So that drives me insane. Here's a story with you. When the pandemic first started happening, back in like March or whatever it was, or was it the next month when everything was opening? I went to an Outback Steakhouse. I never go to Outback. I just figured, I'm like, well, it's one of the only places around here that are like fully open and you can like go sit down and eat. So I was like, all right, I'll go get myself a steak, whatever. They got good bread too, so I'll go over there. So I go there and they're like, oh, sir, do you have your mask? And I was like, oh, yeah. I forgot it in my car. I'm sorry. I'll be right back. So walk to my car. Granted, at the time, I weighed like 230 pounds. I was a fluffy boy at that point because I was bulking and I was just eating everything in sight. And on purpose, like, as I was trying to get stronger with my weights. And, we got another super chat. They're doing the same thing for WrestleMania. Yes, they're trying to have 40,000 people in the stands. 40,000 people. Insane. So, Daniel, I agree with you, Daniel. I agree. But I'm not going to say it out loud. But, what am I saying? I went to Outback. I go to my car. I'm sweating my hiney off going to my car. I'm in Florida, so I walk to my car, go get the mask, walk back. I'm like, okay, cool, I got the mask. She literally walks us, I kid you not, 10 feet to the nearest table and had us sit down. And she literally said, like, okay, you guys don't have to wear, you don't have to wear your masks. And I was like, I looked at her right in the face. I'm like, are you kidding me? You made me walk like how far to my car to go get this mask, and you walked me from like here and like 10 steps to that table, and now I can take off my mask? Like, are you kidding me? I was getting like so annoyed. Ugh, I'm just over the masks. I can't stand it. But Alex, 30,000 for 2 seats. I think it's 40,000 for WrestleMania, right? Or 30,000 each. Oh, okay. Wow. Hey, 60,000 total. That's awesome, man. Hey, I'm all about it. So I actually might go to WrestleMania this year. I might. I've been a wrestling fan since I was a kid. I don't like wrestling as much as I used to. It's more of a nostalgia thing for me. And but you know, I would love to just to go. You know, like, I think it's cool. So. But alrighty, everyone, I just realized I was on the Google screen this entire time. All right, I'm going to come back to you here. Everyone, that's all I got for tonight. As always, a great time talking some baseball tonight. But real quick, before I get out of here, that's not the right screen. Here we go. There's the right screen. Here we go. So, what am I saying here? Oh, if you are looking for more baseball news and content, think about hitting that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 6K by opening day. Hit that like button for me. That's going to help this stream get out to more fans that weren't able to get here tonight. And if you want, go follow me on Twitter so we can talk baseball throughout the day. But everyone, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go get some shut-eye. I got to get some sleep. I'm pretty tired. That hot yoga earlier, it kicked my butt. It absolutely kicked my butt. Hot yoga, telling you. Don't sleep on it. Don't even make fun of it. It'll kick your hiney all over the place. But I'm gonna get out of here. Everyone, thank you for coming out tonight. Have a great night, and as always, I'll talk to you next time.